Farming is one of the most important jobs in the world. Farmers work hard every single day to grow the food that we all eat. Without their dedication, the shelves in our local shops would be empty, and our plates would have, well, no delicious fruits, vegetables, or grains. Every carrot, every loaf of bread, and every apple starts its journey on a farm. These farms can be big or small, but they all share the same purpose: to cultivate the land and produce the food that nourishes our communities, connecting the soil beneath our feet to the meals we enjoy at our tables. It is a cycle of life that begins with a simple yet powerful act. The journey of our food begins with a tiny seed. Inside each seed is the beginning of a new plant, just waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Farmers carefully choose the best seeds for the crops they want to grow. Whether it is wheat for bread, potatoes for chips, or sweet corn for a summer barbecue, they prepare the soil, making it soft and ready to receive these seeds. Using special machines called seed drills, or sometimes planting by hand, farmers place the seeds into the earth. This is a moment of great hope and potential, as these small specks hold the promise of a future harvest that will feed many people. Once the seeds are in the ground, they need a few essential things to begin their transformation. The first is water. Rain is often enough, but if the weather is too dry, farmers use irrigation systems to give the thirsty seeds a drink. They also need the warmth and energy of the sun. Sunlight acts like food for the young plants, helping them to grow strong and healthy. The soil provides vital nutrients, which are like vitamins for the plant. With the right combination of water, sunlight, and rich soil, the tiny seed will awaken, and a small green sprout will push its way up towards the sky. This initial stage of growth is a magical time on the farm. All across the fields, what was once bare earth begins to show signs of life. Rows of delicate green shoots emerge, creating a soft carpet of new plants. The farmer watches over them closely, ensuring they have everything they need to thrive. This is just the start of a long process that requires patience and care. The farmer knows that each small seedling represents a future meal, and their work in these early days is crucial for ensuring a successful and bountiful harvest later in the season. The fields are now alive with the promise of food to come. As the small plants grow bigger, the farmer's work is far from over. Throughout the growing season, the crops need constant attention and care. The farmer acts as a guardian for the fields, protecting the plants from harm. One of the biggest challenges is weeds. These unwanted plants compete with the crops for sunlight, water, and nutrients in the soil. To control them, farmers might use tools called hoes to gently remove the weeds from around the delicate crop plants, or they might use special machinery that can pull them up without causing any damage to the valuable harvest they are nurturing. Another threat to the growing crops comes from pests, such as insects that like to eat the leaves, stems, or fruits. To protect their plants, farmers have several methods. Some use natural solutions, like introducing helpful insects such as ladybirds, which eat the harmful pests. This is a clever way to keep the crops safe without using chemicals. Other times, if the pest problem is very serious, farmers may need to spray the fields with pesticides to stop the insects from destroying the entire crop. They do this very carefully to ensure the food remains safe for us to eat, while safeguarding their livelihood from devastation. Just as people need food to grow, plants need nutrients from the soil. Over time, the soil can lose some of its goodness, so farmers often add fertilizers to replenish it. These fertilizers are like a healthy meal for the plants, providing them with the essential elements they need to produce big, juicy fruits and vegetables. Some farmers use natural fertilizers, such as compost, which is made from decaying plants and other organic matter. This not only feeds the crops, but also improves the health of the soil for future planting seasons, creating a sustainable cycle of growth and renewal. Throughout the spring and summer months, the farmer keeps a watchful eye on the weather. Too little rain can cause the plants to wilt, so irrigation systems might be needed to provide water. On the other hand, too much rain or a sudden hailstorm can damage the crops. The farmer must always be prepared, monitoring the weather forecasts and doing everything possible to protect the fields. This season of care is a partnership between the farmer and nature, a delicate balance of nurturing the plants while respecting the power of the elements, all to ensure a healthy and abundant harvest. After many months of careful work, the time finally comes for the harvest. This is the busiest and most exciting period on the farm. The farmer knows the crops are ready by their color, size, and feel. Golden wheat fields sway in the breeze, ripe red tomatoes hang heavy on the vine, and potatoes are ready to be dug from the earth. Harvesting has to be done at just the right moment. If it is done too early, the food will not be ripe. If it is done too late, it might spoil in the field. The farmer's experience and knowledge are crucial in making this important decision. The way crops are harvested depends on what they are. For grains like wheat, barley, and oats, farmers use enormous machines called combine harvesters. These incredible machines can cut the stalks, separate the valuable grains from the rest of the plant, and collect them all in one go. For other crops, like apples or strawberries, the work is often done by hand. Pickers move carefully through the orchards and fields, selecting only the ripest and best fruits to ensure that the quality of the food we buy is as high as possible. This careful, hands-on approach protects the delicate produce from bruising. Once the crops are gathered from the field, their journey is not over. They are taken to a central area on the farm for the first stage of processing. For vegetables like carrots and potatoes, this often means a good wash to remove all the soil they grew in. They might be tumbled in large machines with water and soft brushes until they are clean and sparkling. Other crops, such as peas or beans, might be removed from their pods. This initial cleaning and sorting step is very important, as it prepares the food for the next stage of its journey to our shops and kitchens. After cleaning, the food needs to be prepared for transport. Some produce is packed into crates, boxes, or bags right there on the farm. This packaging helps to protect the food and keep it fresh during its travels. For example, delicate berries might be placed into small plastic punnets, while sturdy potatoes could be put into large sacks. The farmer ensures everything is correctly labeled and ready to go. The farm is a hive of activity, with tractors and lorries being loaded with the fresh harvest, ready to leave the farm gates and move on to the next destination. After leaving the farm, the freshly harvested food is transported to different places. Many crops are taken to large processing factories. Here, they might be transformed into other food products we love. For instance, wheat grains are ground into flour for making bread and cakes. Tomatoes might be cooked and turned into ketchup or pasta sauce. Peas and sweet corn are often frozen or canned, which preserves them so we can enjoy them all year round, even when they are not in season. These factories use big, specialized machines to wash, chop, cook, and package the food safely and efficiently for everyone. Other fresh produce, like apples, lettuce, and broccoli, is taken to large distribution centers. Think of these as huge warehouses, where food from many different farms is brought together. Here, the food is sorted again, checked for quality, and organized into orders for individual shops. Workers pack the produce onto pallets, which are then loaded onto refrigerated lorries. The cool temperature inside these lorries acts like a big fridge on wheels, keeping the fruit and vegetables crisp and fresh during their journey to the supermarkets, local grocers, and markets in our towns and cities. Finally, the lorries arrive at our local shops. The boxes and crates are unloaded and brought into the storeroom. Shop workers then carefully unpack the food and arrange it on the shelves for us to buy. The fruit and vegetables are displayed in the produce section, bread is placed in the bakery aisle, and tins and jars are neatly lined up. It is here, in the shop, that we finally see the end result of the farmer's long months of hard work. The journey from a tiny seed to the food we see on the shelf is a long and complex one, involving many people and processes. So, the next time you are in a shop, take a moment to look at the food around you. Remember the farmer who planted the seed, cared for the growing plant, and harvested it from the field. Think about the journey it took by lorry to a factory or a warehouse, and finally to the shelf in front of you. Every item of food has a story that begins in the soil. Understanding this journey helps us appreciate the incredible effort that goes into bringing fresh, delicious, and healthy food to our tables every single day, connecting us all to the land and the changing seasons.